Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Is boomer privilege actually real? Is boomer privilege actually a real thing? I'm going to get a lot of flack on this one. I don't care. You're liable to see a side of Larry that you haven't seen yet. But I was on YouTube earlier today as I was watching some threads on how much easier the boomers had it than what everybody has it today. Everybody below them has it today. And I see some of it. I realize there are some differences. We had a lot more manufacturing jobs back when I was young than what we have today, although they are starting to come back to this country slowly but surely. But things are different, but they're still very doable to get ahead. Still very doable. I know lots of people in their early 20s who are homeowners. Who are homeowners. Yes, they went to college. Yes, they had student loans. Do they drive brand new cars? No. Do they go out to eat all the time? No. Are they financially stable? Yes, they are. In their own way, they are, much like we were back then. The one the one boomer privilege that I could see is I was raised in a two-parent home in middle-class America. Both my parents worked, and I think that's a minority today. There are so many younger people who come from single-parent families, single-parent homes, and there's just a lot of that going around today. So I think that might have been a boomer privilege that we had. Now, in high school, I studied hard, got good grades, graduated in top 5% of my class, out of a class of about 450. Is that boomer privilege? I don't think so. I think that's just called hard work. I did earn a full athletic scholarship to college basketball. For those that don't know, Larry is 6'7". I only weigh about 220 now, but back then I weighed about 240. As I've just gotten slimmer as I've gotten older. But I was gifted in some ways athletically, and it earned me a full scholarship. Today they get paid. Back then I was just thrilled that I had to pay for college. After high school, from the day my parents dropped me off at college as a freshman, I totally 100% supported myself and my family. That doesn't happen today. Parents are helping out their college age kids. They're helping out the kids who they're allowing them to stay at home for indefinite periods. There's so many 30 and 40-year-olds living in their parents' basements. And if you're one of those watching this, which I don't think too many would be watching this, uh, that's a choice. That's a choice you've made. Now, I graduated college with honors. Now, remember, I was an athlete. We were taking long bus trips from where I went to college to all over the country. We flew a few times. Mostly it was long bus trips, semi-local within 2 or 3 states. And while everybody else was sleeping on the bus on the way home, I was studying because I had tests the next morning and I wanted to do well. I had 3 sons that got through college. I didn't help any of them. I allowed them to stay in my home and eat my food, but I didn't financially support them in any way. So it can be done. It definitely can be done. I totally, by myself, because my wife didn't work at the time, totally financially supported my family. My family got no help from anyone. And that's almost unheard of today. People say, oh, you can't do that. Yes, you can do that. Even today, I believe you can do that. I know people who are doing that. Here's an example of a boomer mentality. Our first home was in a not too great section of town. It was pretty cheap, and to say it was run down, it was run down. I mean, they used the floor vents for the furnace. They used that for an ashtray. So I mean, it was nasty. We cleaned it up and sold it a couple of years later. Moved on up. We moved on up, and then we moved up 3 or 4 times before we ended up where we are. People today, young people today, aren't willing to do that. They're just not willing to do that. I don't know why, but they're not willing. And then when things are going so good, I made some really, really poor financial decisions. Bad financial decisions. I made some terrible decisions that affected me for a long time. I lost almost every worldly material possession I owned. Did anybody come to bail me out? No. Because we were expected, being the generation that we belong to, we were expected to pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps. And I did. It took me a while. But I did, because what I did was started my own business. Is this a boomer thing? I don't think so. Anybody can start their own business today. Anybody. Whatever you have a passion about or have some skills for, you can start your own business. Was that a boomer thing? No, not at all. because I had work ethic already instilled in me, I worked long hours and became I'll say mildly successful. We live in a very nice home today because of those work ethics back then. But a lot of people just aren't willing to do that these days. They're just not willing. Now, because we were blessed financially, I was able to bless countless people over the years. I'm not talking thousands of dollars to each person, but I was able to bless financially lots of people, anonymously, I might add. I was expecting nothing in return, but I had some people that I knew that needed help, and I helped them, and it worked out great because I was able to. Is that a boomer thing? I don't think so. I've always treated everyone with love and kindness. There is so much hate in the world today. You see it everywhere you go. People are upset. They're hateful sometimes, not all the time, but I've always treated everybody with love and kindness. I don't think that's so much a society thing. I think that might be a boomer thing. I don't know. I know a lot of younger people who act the same way. Here's a big difference between boomers and everybody else. I did not expect the government to support me in any way, shape, or form. When I was a broke college student, married, living in some rundown apartment, we could have qualified for food stamps. It wasn't EBT at the time, it was actual food stamps. We could have qualified, and I decided not to. We decided not to. As long as I was able to work and make a buck or two here or there, we would do that. That's not the mentality of younger people today. They want everything the government can give them. I've also chosen to stay married to the same woman for 52 years. Same woman. And it's been a blessing. We've stuck with each other through thick and thin. Nowadays, things get a little rough here and there. People bail. They bail. And we went into it with the mindset from two different sides. Her parents got divorced right before we got married. And my parents, they were married over 50 years, but they fought like cats and dogs all the time. And we just decided we weren't going to be like that. I don't think that's a boomer thing. But today's society, younger people than us, if things go wrong, they bail. They just bail, leave the kids, leave everything, and just walk away from it. And that's not a boomer privilege. That's just not. Well, my question for everybody is, why does society look down upon boomers, especially what I am, an old white male? Now, there are some common denominators here. If you looked at this list that I made up, there are some common denominators, and those are work, perseverance, kindness. Those things aren't taught anymore that much. Then there's work, there's family. That's not taught anymore. And then there's work and faith. The common denominator seems to be work. If you work, you can achieve a lot of these things. I know it's harder today. I know things have changed today, but I got a degree in something useful. Most of the younger people I know got degrees in something useful. They had absolutely no problem finding a job. I know a young man that's working for SpaceX. I know another man. I mean, these guys they're top of the class because they took something. They weren't taking gender studies and philosophy of Eastern religions. They were taking something they could get earn some income from. If you got anything out of this, this is just Larry venting a little bit today and ranting a little bit more. If you got anything out of this, just like, share, subscribe. Until we meet again, I'm going to press on towards that goal.